What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got a lot to talk about here. President Biden makes a big kind of threat, and I'll let you hear it directly from him. And you guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. Also, today starts an important day for millions of Americans that you could receive money, and I'll show you how to get it and who is eligible for this, and I'll show you it directly here on the screen here as well. Yeah, so if you're new to our YouTube channel, or if you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and then the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. Remember, new videos come out here every day, and I'll keep you up to date here. Also, thanks so much for hitting the like button. Let's jump right in here. First, we have President Biden threatening a windfall tax on energy, gas, and oil companies. Remember, the United Kingdom did do this. So the United Kingdom officially passed a windfall tax on oil and gas companies on their excess profits. Okay, and what this basically did is it took the profits that were considered exorbitant over and above the norm plus sum, and it basically reallocates those profits back to the people. So don't think this can happen, because the United Kingdom did this year, actually. Here's what the president has to say, and you're not going to believe the profits these gas and oil companies are making off of us. Take a listen to this.
Well, good afternoon. This is a very short statement, but a consequential one in my view. Putin's invasion of Ukraine in March set gas prices soaring literally around the world, not just here, but around the world. And because of the action we've taken since then, gas prices have actually come down, going into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve here at home in America. They're down more than $1.20 since their peak this summer, and they've been falling for the best part of the last 3 weeks. In June, the average price, not the most common price, but the average price nationwide was over $5 a gallon. Today, the average price for a gallon of gas is $3.76. That's adding up to real savings for American families, the difference between those prices. And this difference makes a difference in a difficult time. Americans across the country have stepped up to do the right thing. But not everyone stepped up. The oil industry has not met its commitment to invest in America and support the American people. One by one, major oil companies have reported record profits, not just a fair return for hard work. Every company is entitled to that, a fair return for the work they do or innovation they generate. I mean profits so high it's hard to believe. Now, the second quarter, the profits were really high, but the third quarter, last week, Shell announced that it made $9.5 billion in profits for the third quarter. $9.5 billion. That's almost twice as much as it made in the third quarter of last year. I think that's something. You think that's incredible? I thought, that's as good as high as it's going to get. Then along came Exxon. Exxon's profits for the third quarter were $18.7 billion. One quarter, $18.7 billion. Nearly triple what Exxon made last year. And the most in its 152-year history. It's never made that much profit. In the last 6 months, 6 of the largest oil companies have made more than $100 billion. $100 billion. And we had a little discussion about this, the three of us and others. $100 billion in profits in less than 200 days. That's not bad. And here's why this matters. I think it's outrageous what the size of the profit. Here's why it matters. These companies were making average profits they've been making by refining oil over the last 20 years, instead of the outrageous profits they're making today. And if they passed the rest on to the consumers, the price of gas would come down around an additional 50 cents. If they're investing their profits at historic rates in their U.S. operations, then America would be producing more oil today, and prices would be down even further. But rather than increasing their investments in America or giving American consumers a break, Their excess profits are going back to their shareholders, and they're buying back their stock, so the executive pays are going to skyrocket. Give me a break. Enough is enough. Look, I'm a capitalist. You've heard me say this before. I have no problem with corporations turning a fair profit or getting a return on their investment in innovation. But this is remotely what's happening. Oil companies' record profits today are not because they're doing something new or innovative. Their profits are a windfall of war. The windfall from the brutal conflict that's ravaging Ukraine and hurting tens of millions of people around the globe. You know, at a time of war, any company receiving historic windfall profits like this has a responsibility to act beyond their narrow self-interest of its executives and shareholders. I think they have a responsibility to act in the interest of their consumers, their community, and their country. To invest in America by increasing production and refining capacity, because they don't want to do that. They have the opportunity to do that. Lowering prices for consumers at the pump. You know, if they don't, they're going to pay a higher tax on their excess profits and face other restrictions. My team will work with Congress to look at these options that are available to us and others. It's time for these companies to stop war profiteering, meet their responsibilities to this country, and give the American people a break and still do very well.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here on this. BP rakes in a quarterly profit of $8.2 billion. ExxonMobil posts triple profits to record highs of almost $20 billion over higher petrol prices. Yeah. And the chief executive dismisses the calls for the U.S. windfall taxes, saying, get this, the dividends flow to the American people. Yeah, you can see the quote right here. Let me know, is the high gas prices, are those dividends flowing to you? Are they flowing to you? Unless you're an ExxonMobil stockholder, I don't think that the profits are flowing to the American people. Only maybe if you're a ExxonMobil stockholder, which is very few people, right? I mean, that's not the common average American people, right? Yeah. Yeah, so you can see here President Biden threatens higher taxes on oil companies with this windfall profit tax if they do not work to lower gas prices. Also, top Democrats urge Biden to nationalize oil and gas industry, calls for Biden to make these oil and gas companies under government control. Also, now becoming calls for this. Remember that there is actually a lot of other countries around the world, and I'm not just talking about like, you know, third world countries, countries in Europe and stuff like that, have actually done this, where they have actually kind of nationalized the gas and oil companies. Now, I'm not necessarily for this or against this, because it's too hard to predict what would happen with the gas prices and the oil prices. The problem with having government run things is it's not always necessarily done that well. But if the oil and gas industry didn't profit per se, because they were under government control, theoretically gas prices could come down significantly. But it's not really the American way, because the American way isn't really to just take over companies. I don't know. Would they have to buy them out? I mean, they surely just couldn't seize them. They'd have to buy them out or something. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can let me know your thoughts here on this. All these things are up for consideration. The other thing up for consideration here is that Congress could retract a law that they passed like several decades ago. Several decades ago, Congress passed a law that allowed the US to export oil and gas out of the United States and allowed these oil and gas companies like Exxon and Shell, all these companies to sell it outside the United States. Congress allowed that. Congress can retract that law and no longer allow them to do that. That is also up for consideration as well. It doesn't necessarily mean it would lower gas prices in the US because remember that oil prices are traded on a global scale. Okay, so the oil price is kind of it's traded on a stock market like exchange, and the oil price is basically a global oil price. So this actually could send a lot of fear into the market and actually could cause oil prices to spike. So believe it or not, this actually could make oil prices and thus gas prices go higher. Believe it or not. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. Yeah, and because of these high oil and gas prices around the world, remember this is around the world, not just here in the US. Everybody, gets all worked up about the high prices here in the US. The European Union officially inks a complete ban on new combustion vehicles, basically gas and diesel powered vehicles, from 2035 onward. So that's, it's about to be 2023 here in, 2 months. So this will be in 12 years. So the European Union, which is, like several countries here. Let me see here. There's 27 countries in the EU. 27 countries in the EU. Okay. They officially just inked a law, a ban on new combustion vehicles, gas and diesel, from 2035 onward. So in 12 years. So this is kind of what's going on. They're sick and tired of gas and diesel prices. Remember, their gas and diesel prices are higher than in the US in almost probably every single country. I haven't checked the price of every single country there, but as we've checked them here, their prices are higher than ours. Okay. They're banning the sale of new vehicles. Now, this doesn't mean they're going to get rid of the old vehicles. This is just the sale of new vehicles. So they're basically going to make the sale of new vehicles all be electric. Or maybe if there might be some other type of new things. And remember that they're also coming out, and there's already here in the US, they already have electric vehicles for the same price. So, for example, here in the US, they have a couple different cars already, and of course, they're coming out with more here all the time. The Chevy Bolt with a B, there used to be a Chevy Volt as well, starting at $26,000. It's a fully electric car. And I think I've seen lease prices started at $299 or something like that a month. And we've already did a previous article where the price to fill up your electric charge as opposed to filling up your gas tank is much, much cheaper. And all these electric cars by law have an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the battery as the minimum. And they all say here that the batteries all pretty much last a lot longer than that. That's just the minimum warranty on it. But nonetheless, this is what's happening in Europe. Will this happen in the US as well? Let me know your thoughts on this. People getting sick of $5 a gallon gas, and in California, $6, $7 a gallon gas. Will this happen in the US? Right now, it's just people basically deciding on their own if they want an electric car. Will there be a ban on gas-powered cars? Also, help coming for Americans in multiple different states here. Gas and electric utility help coming here to multiple different states, pretty much all states starting here. Some states opening today. In the LIHEAP, the HEAP, and the LEAP programs. They're all a little bit differently. Some are named LIHEAP, some are named LEAP, and some are named HEAP. But several of these are named LIHEAP. So Pennsylvania applications open here today, November 1st. You can see here, this is for Arizona. Actually, this is for the Cherokee Nations, actually, here, opening December 1st. And also for California here, California actually has several new programs with billions of dollars in financial assistance that specifically address utility bill debt that customers have accrued during the pandemic, have recently been approved by the state of California using federal funds. This is also the case here for several different states I'll be covering here in upcoming videos. California's LIHEAP program has been around for a long time, but it recently received nearly $500 million in new funding from the federal government. I'm pretty sure that most, if not all states, I don't want to say all because I haven't looked into every single state, but this is why I'm showing you multiple different headlines here. California just happens to be the highest population state. That's why I tend to cover them a lot, just because it covers the most people in one shot, right? The goal of LIHEAP is to help low-income households that spend a lot of their income on energy, provided they can complete an application process. So LIHEAP and these programs are in every single state, guys, every single state. That's the key word here, okay? Also, this objective is supported by a number of programs, including the HEAP program, which is the Home Energy Assistance Program, HEAP. So write these down. You can Google these, followed by your state. I also have a video showing you how to find these programs in your state. If you want to follow a step-by-step video I have showing you how to do this. Which provides one-time financial assistance to assist with the balance of your utility bills or help you pay your utility bills. These are directly from government programs, okay, where they will basically pay your utility bills for several hundred to several $1,000, okay? California also, there's a lot of other states that have stuff like this, also has another program called the CAP program, which is run by the this program here, uses nearly $1 billion in federal funds to pay off energy debts that Californians have incurred between March 4th, 2020 and June 15th, 2021. This program doesn't require utility customers to apply for help, depending on the availability of funds and the combined requirements of all utility customers. A credit may be applied to all or part of a customer's bill if their account is eligible and is 60 days or more behind on payments. But what I would do is call your utility company and at least ask. So I have links for you guys down below in the description of this video on how to find utility assistance, rent assistance. The rent assistance kind of running out, but if you want to watch it, you can. There might be some still available in your state. Homeowners assistance. There's $9.9 billion of homeowners assistance. How to find it in your state as well. And I'll link you to these videos here on the screen here in a moment, as well as also. Programs like these happen all the time. If you watch my channel, this is part of my mission to you guys here on a daily basis to let you guys know about these programs and new programs that happen all the time. We think about, one of the big new programs going on here is the student loan forgiveness of 40 plus million Americans. We think about like the child tax credits. We think about the Social Security raise. In addition to the cost of living raise of 8.7%, there could be an additional $2,400 a year raise. We've had 3 stimulus checks on the federal level. We have over 33 different states that have passed state stimulus checks or inflation relief checks. There's just paycheck protection programs, extra SNAP benefits here. We have so many different things here. A lot of people don't even know about this stuff. So if you watch my channel, you know about this stuff. I have literally had thousands and thousands of comments of people saying, "Thank you, Jimmy. Without you, I wouldn't even have known about a lot of these programs." And really, that's just part of my mission here, is to help you guys, tell you guys about this type of stuff here. So, and as always, I don't charge a single dime to watch or join or anything from my channel. If you see anybody in the comment section saying, text me or call me using my picture, it's a scam. There's people just pretending to be me. So just disregard them. I don't have any phone numbers or any texts for you to call or text. So just don't even call anybody ever from the comment section. Okay, the winners from the What's in the Box contest, I'll be reaching out to you in the comment section, so be aware of that, though. Only the 10 winners. I'll link you to that video here as well. But remember, I'll have a check mark by my name, and you know you're a winner because you've seen it on the screen. Uh, I'll link you to that video here as well. But here's some videos you can watch next. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. It's very important. Again, it's completely free to do so. So here's the videos you can watch next. This top video is how to apply for rent assistance if it's still available. This bottom video is for homeowners assistance. This top video here is how to apply for utility assistance and the energy assistance. And this bottom video here is the $1,000 we just gave away. And you can see our Halloween costumes in that video as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.